Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Kerbal Space Program to Infinity and Beyond. Our quest to, I guess at this point, just get to the Mun. So let's head to our assembly center here. I am going to just start a new design here. And we'll clear the air a little bit. So the first 6 episodes of the series were recorded, all pre-recorded before I went on a week-long vacation. So I understand there were some errors that kind of started in the first couple of episodes and then compounded as time went along. Don't worry about it. I've read your comments. I appreciate them, especially as usual, the more civilly worded ones. And we're going to start slowly implementing some of those tips and, work towards actually creating a workable spacecraft that is not just going to immediately explode. So let's start basic. We'll start with our Mark 1 command module. I'm going to adjust my design a little bit. This will be like the second series of Northernlion rockets. So the main tip that I got from you guys, and this one has proven unbelievably useful even in just like the test runs that I've done here, is the symmetry tool up here. So by using this, we can set how symmetrical we want our rocket to be and under what kinds of symmetry. So this would just be like symmetry based on a point in the middle. This would be like symmetrical based on like 2 points on opposite sides of the rockets. This would be like, we're getting to like radial symmetry and then, 4-point symmetry, etc., etc. Again, probably grossly misusing the terms there. But anyway, let's attach a parachute to our rocket here. We'll attach an SAS module. I realize that people keep complaining about the fact that I'm attaching these SAS modules, but I don't know, I can't help but feel like that's doing a good job. But anyway, and we're going to keep most of our design fairly similar here, just to show off this like radial symmetry tool. So here's, let's set it on like 3. We'll set it on like the Duke Nukem nuclear symbol here, and so we'll have symmetry as like a triangle, or in 3 points anyway. We will stack on some fuel tanks under our main unit here. We should probably add a decoupler here. Actually, let's just drag out a bunch of decouplers. 4 for now should be good, but I'll drag out more later. So we'll put a decoupler under this, so we just have like our main unit here, so when we crash back into the Earth or into the Mun, we aren't crashing with a buttload of fuel. We will put we'll put a liquid fuel engine under there, add another decoupler, and then let's show off what this radial symmetry tool can do here. So I'm going to grab the tricoupler, and when I pop that down there, let's grab a couple more decouplers here. And let's do something that we've done fairly frequently in the past just to show off how this works. This is probably going to be a design that's going to fail, but check this out. With that symmetry tool on 3, if I put 1 solid fuel booster, it actually puts 3 solid fuel boosters. If I put 3, or if I put 1 decoupler, it puts 3 decouplers. So by doing that, we can create a rocket much more easily than we had in the past. If nothing else, certainly saving me a lot of time. This is probably still a terrible design, but let's just call this one not Untitled Spacecraft. How about Doomed to Fail Mark 1? And we'll see how this one works on the launch pad. And I'll talk about another tip that you guys have given me that has actually been really useful as well. In fact, this one is super doomed to fail because I didn't even attach struts, but that's fine. So another tip you guys have given me is use shift and control to adjust your throttle, even with the solid fuel boosters. So by doing that, I can crank my throttle up to full, which should give me more acceleration as we take off here. So we activated our SAS module, and here we go. I am going to guess that this is going to happen pretty quickly. Probably going to be pretty poor, but the acceleration is good so far. I mean, this is a very simple rocket, but it is also the same like model of rocket that I've used for like my entire run so far. So I'm going to stick with what I know for now. Maybe the moon is a distant pipe dream, or the Mun, whatever. But this is my series. Like, this is my own kind of derping my way through Kerbal Space Program. And I think the thing about this series that I really want to stress the most is that this is not about like getting to the end as fast as possible. This is about the journey. This is about like being a kid again and building rockets in your backyard, like getting that self-experimentation and like your own creativity and design and seeing how well it works, seeing if you can tweak it to actually make it functional. I don't think this one is going to be functional at all, but it's working out okay for us. We'll get our last set of solid fuel boosters, and then we'll start with our rocket engine. This went substantially better than the test runs I did just before this, and our acceleration's actually not too bad, so I'm proud of this. But anyway, what I'm trying to get across is, if you want to see someone complete, quote-unquote, complete Kerbal Space Program, you should go check out somebody else. If you want to see someone, legitimately enjoying the journey of discovery through Kerbal Space Program, then feel free to stick with me here. So we're going to use our jet engine now. This test run went way, way better than I expected. So, of course, there have been other tips that have been listed. And I've read a lot of those comments, but I was on vacation, so I missed a bunch of them. Man, we actually might come close to our previous best here. I don't know, I think it was like 60,000 or something. Like, this thing has a lot of fuel left in it. I can't believe this worked out as well as it did. But in any case, like as you can see, those 2 tips have just helped me a lot by themselves. But there have been other tips as well. I'm looking forward to like going through the comments and reading a lot of those. I think the general sentiment has been, don't use so many like solid fuel boosters, you big dummy. Apparently, like those haven't been used in rocketry for like 30 years or something like that. Anyway, like I'm paraphrasing from the comments here. They're basically like they give us no finesse. They just give us the ability to, you know, get a little bit of boost to get off the ground. But so maybe I'll try a new design with actually some more advanced rocketry, like maybe more liquid fuel engines if possible. I don't know. Who knows? For now, I'm just gonna stick with the run that we have right now and see how this is going. Like we should be entering orbit in about, I guess, 10,000. Can I warp a little bit here? In about 10,000 extra meters, so another 10 kilometers or so up in the air. And I think this has been, you know, by and large, a pretty substantial success. I did not expect that. The problem is, like, I guess our acceleration is still pretty low, like 187 meters per second. It's not that bad, I guess. But we are going to run out of fuel before we actually break the atmosphere, I think. So we're probably just going to plummet down to Earth pretty quickly after that. Oh god, there was more fuel. I shouldn't have ejected. Alright, but this is fine. We'll just keep balance on top of our fuel tanks and we'll be okay. This probably is not the most efficient way of doing things, but it's working. So if you missed that, what happened is I actually decoupled these fuel tanks from my top module here. And the reason that's a bad thing is because there was actually more fuel left in this other fuel tank. So I thought that when the fuel ran out, that was the fuel from both of these, but it was actually just the fuel from one. But hey, I would say this has gone pretty well. I may actually, just as a result of those tips, reach my previous best in terms of altitude, which is certainly something that I was not expecting in this first video, especially given the anger that had been received in the other comments. Can I actually make this go even faster now? I guess we're still in the atmosphere. We should be hitting 100,000 meters soon. The downside of this is I have no idea how much fuel is left. And I can't even click on my fuel tanks anymore to see, but it's alright. Earth is Kerbal is a distant dream now. And that would be the end of our fuel, so we can officially decouple here. And, you know, we'll continue going upwards for a little bit longer here. I'll probably stop this once our acceleration, or our, I guess, velocity here hits 0. Just to see what our maximum altitude is, because this might be the first time, in fact, will be the first time I've crossed over 100,000 meters, which is pretty crazy. I can speed up my time warp, actually, but this is just going to cause me to fall back to Earth even faster. So I imagine that time warp is so that if you're traveling to the moon, then you don't have to actually sit here for like 4 days to make it happen. And here I go, crashing back down to Earth. I think my Kerbals will actually survive this, though. But I don't really want to sit here and wait for them to survive it, so we'll just end the flight. That actually went surprisingly well. So let's go back to the vehicle assembly building. Change the name to, I don't know, surprise, surprise. Probably not, if you're an astronaut, the best name for a rocket. Like, it doesn't necessarily encourage the most, I guess, like, encouragement. And we'll get rid of those solid fuel boosters, which I just did right there. And let's just stack a bunch of fuel tanks. No, I want, sorry, symmetry there. So we'll stack a bunch of these fuel tanks down here. And maybe we'll put 2 per engine. And then we'll do exactly the same thing again. 2 more per engine. And maybe we'll do 1 more set of this, even though I kind of think maybe we should put like solid fuel booster. You know, let's do that. I need decouplers as well. That was a bad mistake right there. Or would be a bad mistake, I should say. So we'll put decouplers there. We'll reattach this right here. We don't need any. Okay, I think we're good for decouplers. And then we'll stack up some decouplers here. Followed by 1 set of solid fuel boosters just to get off the ground. We'll see how this works. Let's keep this as surprise, surprise Mark 1. The other thing about the symmetry tool that's important is that I can switch it to like 4 degrees of symmetry now, and then attach wings. That's probably a little bit too much. Let's go with a winglet here. So if I attached winglets like this, if I take a top-down look, you can see that they will attach themselves in like 4, symmetrical in 4 places. It'll put 4 of them down so that there's like equal. Can I even do it like this? I don't think so. It'll put 4 of them down so that there's like they're equally distributed. So it shouldn't imbalance the plane too much, or the rocket too much, if I place them appropriately anyway. But I'm just going to stick with not any winglets for now, because I still think that adds another degree of potential failure. Let's try our launch here. I don't know how this is going to work. I think this is going to be substantially heavier than our last one, and I don't know if it has as much boom as is required to get even off the launch pad here, but we'll give it a try, and this will be our last flight for this episode. I think progress has definitely been made. Alright, probably should have attached some struts there, but so far so good. I think we're coming up reasonably strong here, reasonably straight as well, which is important. And these solid fuel boosters will be out of fuel in a second anyway. Maybe this won't be our last flight right now, because we've got a lot of drift here. Basically, I think just as a result of my solid fuel boosters... Oh man, I need to tie all of this together with struts. This is not looking so hot. Alright, now let's see what kind of acceleration we get out of these things. I guess negative acceleration is what we're getting out of them right now. And is now... Phew, this would be a scary sight if you were watching this, like... I want my kids to see the space launch at Cape Canaveral. Okay, this is too heavy. We don't have enough power to get off the ground. Solid fuel boosters. I guess we're going to need a few more of those. Well, what would a Kerbal... Eject! Eject! What would a Kerbal Space Program video for me be without all of my Kerbals getting killed in action? But in any case, as always, thank you guys for watching. We'll probably revert to our old design for the next video and modify it from there. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for the tips as well, and thanks for the understanding while I was away and uploaded those batch videos. But as always, I'll see you guys next time. We're going to try to get to, I guess, 150,000 meters will be our next goal, because that's when we can exercise the next set of time warps. And possibly that'll be closer to at least crash landing ourselves onto the Mun. I don't think we're going to get much further than that in the next episode, but we'll try. So I'll see you next time.